Welcome to SpiceCandies. We're making a caramel candy, salted caramel candy. These are really nice. If you want a simple recipe, I'll tell you that I have a recipe already on the website on my YouTube channel, and you can make it. I'm using Lyle inverted sugar. Let's get to it. Let's have some fun. Right, so this is a bit warm, but we'll give it a shot. Bit softish yet. Kind of interesting. You can still break the candies. Now I poured these at 160, so they should be plenty hard. And yet they feel a bit soft. Kind of funny. There we go. Lovely golden color. It actually helps if you push the button before you start filming. Don't ask me how I know. Well, I kind of like it. It's plenty salty for me, but I'm guessing I'm gonna have to make a batch that's even saltier. So all in all, pretty nice. We're going to make a third batch and give it a go. Okay, let's try. Let's do that again. Caramel. There we go. Still scorching hot. We're going to spread it nicely. You can see the salt there, not all of it dissolved. So we probably reached the maximum amount of salt we can actually dissolve in that. Now the way to add more salt if you want now is not to add it to the mix, but to spread it over here while it's still cooling off and still sticky. As it's really humid here still. Now they're cold to touch, relatively speaking, still warm-ish, but they're very flexible. Even though we've reached 160 degrees Celsius, way beyond their cracking stage. But these are caramel candies, they do that, so don't panic about it. They will break eventually, they will harden eventually. It just takes time because it's a much more complex candy. It's not just sugar. It has all these compounds that are part of the candy now, as sugar broke down into 4,000 ingredients, chemicals. And sugar is a chemical by itself. No panic there, right? It's a natural chemical. And yes, we eat chemicals, we're made of chemicals. And the definition between chemicals as we fear and don't like and chemicals we're made of is if they're biological or not. That's the whole thing to it. So again, no panic. So it will take them some time. They will stiffen, don't worry about it. And still they'll be somewhat sticky in the mouth, and that's the way it goes. If you want to avoid that, check my video on Lyle golden syrup candies, which is inverted syrup. And these are a lot less, well, soft-ish in the mouth, but I like these. These are really nice. So let's try this recipe. I've reached to basically the maximum amount of salt we can dissolve into the candy, which is not that high. It's 3 grams for a 70-gram batch of candies. So let's do the official test. Okay, it's definitely caramel, really hard caramel. We've reached 200 degrees Celsius and it's bitter. If you want to avoid the bitterness, stop at 1 190 degrees Celsius, 195 degrees Celsius, it's starting to get really bitter. It's not as salty. So you might as well start sprinkling a little bit of salt in there. And I think I don't like this version. And as you can see, it's a bit more problematic. It's definitely more sticky, sort of a hard toffee. It should cool off and then it should eventually harden, but for now we can actually bend these candies, which is not ideal. Well, have to give it a shot and try it. Let me wrap this up because I'm going to give it to the person that asked it. And we'll have to see what she says about it because, well, it's a process. You have to adjust it. And the beauty of it is you can adjust it to the flavor of the person you want. So if somebody comes over and says, hey, I want some caramel candy. Do you want light caramel, dark caramel, bitter caramel? What do you want? So you can adapt the amount of salt. You can add other things like, I don't know, honey or whatever you wish. It's your candy. And you can adjust it to your specific flavor. I know how I like my cinnamon candies. I know how I like all my candies. And same goes for you. You can make your own candy the way you like it, the way you want it. And that's the beauty of it. So let's wrap this up. Right, so this wraps up the series about salted caramel. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you had an interesting view of the degrees of caramel you can make, the saltiness levels, and so on and so on. This is fairly simple, and yet it takes more time. The candies are not always as you think they will be. They will not always function as you plan, and this is starting to break. I think you could break it, yeah. So eventually these will harden, so don't worry about it. And for me, they're a bit too bitter, but you know, it's a personal flavor. And you can adjust it the way you want. So have a sweet day. Do give these a shot. If you like the video, thumbs up please. And if not, thumbs down and tell me what you don't like about it. I'll try and make it better. So thanks for watching. Have a sweet day.